There's a therapist researcher, I forget his name, but he has this idea of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Oh. And he said, I've been doing this for a very long time, and I've noticed that there are four traits that if a couple shows, that odds are that they're going to end up getting divorced. And the one horseman that is most predictive is contempt.
Contempt.
So if people roll their eyes, if they're, huffing and puffing about their spouse, he's like, and this isn't him just ballparking, it was like 98% predictive of divorce within the next 6 to 12 months. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah. The Gottman.
Is it Gottman?
Yeah, Gottmans. They're awesome.
Nice.
My wife and I took a Gottman seminar.
Really?
Yeah, we loved it. It was virtual and during COVID, and it was an entire weekend. It was like 8 hours a day. And it was physically difficult because it's pretty emotional and you're talking and you're going through some difficult conversations.
How are you doing that virtually? He's like, okay, and now take 5 minutes to answer these questions.
Yeah, they give you exercises and there are therapists around in case you need specific help. It was outstanding. And in looking back, at the end of the weekend, we were exhausted emotionally, physically, but we reflected on it and we said, like, what did we like? Would we do it again? And the most valuable thing we did was simply putting time aside for our relationship. And then we also decided we want to do it once a year. So we put money aside in a sub-savings account for self-development, and we use it for a conference, a seminar, whatever it may be for us, for our relationship. It's separate from vacations, but that's just an example of if couples had a joint set of goals and they actually put money towards it, that is really meaningful. So this couple I just spoke to recently, the guy was not interested in money. He was the primary earner, but he just didn't care. He's like, I give it to my wife, she handles it. Big mistake. Classic mistake is to have one person be the money person and the other person is just like, oh yeah, you do that. That's your thing. That's a huge mistake. So he was pretty disengaged. And finally, I was talking to him, what's your rich life? He didn't have much. Finally, I mentioned a child-free trip. The guy's face lights up. I was like, all right, this guy wants to get away from his kids. I get it. He wants to have time with his partner to connect. So suddenly we start building that into their rich life. We put some money aside every single month. He knows that once a quarter, they're going to go on a child-free trip. Now these little skirmishes in the weeds about why'd you spend that, or I can't believe that you didn't do this, those are out of the picture because they're focusing on something that they both want. That's the way that I want couples to use money.